Hi all, just going to run through the solutions to the quiz questions from this week. So if we start with question 1, what is the midpoint of -2, -8 and -8, -2? So first of all, we'll write down the midpoint formula. So M, and it's a capital M for midpoint, equals x1 plus x2 over 2 and y1 plus y2 over 2. So we take these coordinates and we'll call this one x1, y1 and this one x2, y2. We can plug them in. So the first one would be -2 plus -8 over 2, and the second one would be -8 plus -2 over 2. So -2 plus -8 is -10. So we've got -10 over 2, and -8 plus -2 is -10 again over 2, and that comes out as -5, -5. So our answer here was B. On to question 2. Points P, Q and R are equally spaced along the line segment. The coordinates of P and R are marked on the diagram. What are the coordinates of Q? So basically it's telling us that Q is the midpoint of P and R. So just going to be using the midpoint formula again. So I'll quickly write that out. And I'll just call P x1, y1 and R x2, y2, and we'll plug them in. So we end up with -3 plus 1 over 2 and 6 plus -2 over 2. So -3 plus 1 leaves us with -2. So it's -2 over 2, and 6 plus -2 is 4. So we've got 4 over 2. If we just simplify them, we end up with -1 and 2. So our answer to this one is C. Question 3. If the midpoint between 2 points is 3, 2, and one of the endpoints is 1, 4, what are the coordinates of the other endpoint? First thing I would do with this is make a wee sketch. So we've got the midpoint is 3, 2. So I'll just mark that with an M and write that that's 3, 2. And we're told that one of the endpoints is 1, 4. So that would maybe be up here. So we'll write that that is 1, 4. We've got to work out the coordinates of the other endpoint. The method I would use for this is what I call stepping out. It's a pretty useful method. We use it later on when we come on to look at the circle and when we come on to look at vectors. So what I do is I draw a couple of triangles and I basically look at how far we've travelled along the x-axis and how far we've travelled along the y-axis to work out what the new coordinates are. So in going from our first endpoint to our midpoint, we've gone from 1 to 3 on the x-axis, which means we've gone up 2 units. So we're going to go up another 2 units, which turns us 3 into a 5. And if we look at the y-axis, we've gone from 4 to 2, so we've gone -2, and it's going to be the same over here. So 2 down another 2 would give us 0. So the answer. Question 4. A line makes an angle of 30 degrees with the positive direction of the x-axis as shown. What is the gradient of this line? So the first thing you should think about if it's talking about angles and it's talking about gradients is gradient equals tan theta, where theta is the angle in between your line and the positive direction of the x-axis. So in this case we can see that theta is 30. So gradient equals tan of 30. And tan of 30 is one of our exact values, which you should have learned that in that 5. And that is 1 over root 3. So our answer is A. Okay, question 5. The gradient of this line is -2. What is the size of the angle marked by A? So again, if we're talking about angles and gradients, the first thing that should jump into our heads is m equals tan theta. So we know our gradient is -2, so I can put that in there. So -2 equals tan theta. But if we have a look at this angle here, we can see that it's going to be obtuse. And one of the reasons we know that it's going to be obtuse is the gradient's negative, so the line's sloping downwards from left to right. That's always going to leave us an angle that's in between 90 and 180 here. So we want to get theta on its own, and it's a case of using inverse tan. But one of the things I always say is that we don't stick a negative in the calculator. So theta would be inverse tan of 2, so I'm not going to stick the negative in the calculator, so I will just plug that into my calculator, and that comes out as 63.4 degrees, but that's not an obtuse angle, that's an acute angle. So to get our angle A, which we know is obtuse, we have to take it away from 180 degrees. So that gives me A is equal to 116.6 degrees. Last question, what is the equation of the median CM? So I'm going to highlight that line there, CM. We're trying to find the equation of it. So when you're finding the equation of a line, two things you need are the gradient of the line, and you need a point that's on the line. Now we've already got C, which lies on the line, so that's fine, I can just put a wee tick there. But we need to work out the gradient of the line, and in order to work out the gradient of the line, we're going to have to work out the coordinates of M. M, of course, is the midpoint of A and B, so we'll work that out using the midpoint formula. So that's going to be -4 plus 12 over 2 and 1 plus 3 over 2. So -4 plus 12 obviously gives us 8. 8 over 2 gives us 4. And 1 plus 3 gives us 4 over 2 gives us 2. So we've worked out the coordinates of M. Now we're going to calculate, we're going to calculate the gradient of C to M. So the gradient of C to M will be y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. So we're going to have 2 minus -7 all over 4 minus 7. So 2 minus -7 will be 2 plus 7, so that's 9. 4 minus 7 would be -3. 9 divided by -3 is -3. So we've now got the gradient of the line. Okay, so we're going to use the formula y minus b equals m brackets x minus a. A and b are the x and y coordinates of a point that lies on the line. So I have to stress that when you're doing this bit and you're selecting A and B, you have to put in the coordinates of a point that lies on that line. So it could either be C or M. You cannot use the others. So I'm going to use C because that was the one given to us. So we've got 7 and negative 7, and M is your gradient, which is negative 3. And we can just plug all of that into our formula. So y minus negative 7 equals negative 3 brackets x minus 7. Y minus negative 7 is y plus 7 equals negative 3 brackets x minus 7. So if we multiply that out, negative 3x plus 21. And I'm going to put it into the format y equals mx plus c. So I'm going to subtract 7 from each side. So y equals negative 3x, and that will be plus 14. That's the end of the questions for this week. Hopefully that has been helpful to go through them with you guys. Obviously, if you've got any questions, please let us know.